Rob here from Media. In this video, we're going to be looking at the testimonial carousel element in Elementor, so stay tuned. At Media, we help companies to grow and thrive using the latest tools, tricks, and marketing techniques. From websites to online marketing, automated sales funnels, social media, and much more. We're always releasing new content on our YouTube channel, so make sure you click the like, subscribe, and notification button to make sure that you don't miss out. Just before we get going, I want to tell you about an exclusive offer we have on at the moment. We're giving away free access to our paid Hub platform to the first 50 people that click the link in the description. We're going to be putting this link in the description of all of our videos, so make sure that you get in there as quick as you can. Within Hub we have created over 100 training videos in 13 courses, including a course on how to build a website using Elementor. You'll also find recorded webinars and a host of other free content, so remember to click the link in the description. Let's get on with the video. Hello and welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about the testimonial carousel element of Elementor. Before we begin then, I've got a page layout of Elementor full width. I've got one section here with one column in, and I've changed the background color of the section to blue. To get back to our elements then, we just need to click the grid here. So the first thing we're going to do is search in our widget here for testimonial carousel, and there it is. Let's drag this into our column, and there we have our default testimonial carousel. So in this video, we're going to go through content and style. A lot of the advanced options have their own videos, so I recommend that you go and check those out. But first of all, let's go to content. So in this video, I'm not going to make too many different items here. I'm going to just edit one for you so that you can see how it works. But of course, you're going to have plenty of testimonials, so put them all in if you like. This works similar to a lot of the list features in Elementor and other Elementor elements. All you have to do is click the item and change the text as you wish. You can put an image in if you like. So I'm just going to put this picture of Dan and I in there. Insert media, you can see that pops in there. You can then change the name and the title of the person. Of course, it doesn't have to be the title, it could be the company, it could be anything you like. You can close the item up by clicking it and then go into your other items and change those as well. So you can duplicate items and you can also delete items when you click this X. You don't have to duplicate though, you can also add an item here and put in your content images, name and title, etc. Next down the list then we have the skin. So we've got the default here, or we've got bubble. I'm going to leave it on bubble. Bear in mind, depending on which one you pick, there might be slightly different style options, but just work through it one by one. We've then got the layout then. We've got image inline, we've got image stacked, we've got image above. Just play around with these and pick whichever you like. I'm going to stick with image inline for now. We've got alignment, so we can left align all the content. This includes the content in the bubble and also your image and your titles here. I'm going to center. You've then got slides per view. So you could go up to 10 slides if you like. That's if you had 10 items. Of course, I've got 3, so I could select 3, and that will then display all 3 items. If I selected 2, it would show 2 items and then slide over. We've then got slides to scroll. So this is a number that you set for how many slides are scrolled per swipe. So again, you could go from 1 up to 10 here. I'm just going to leave it on the default. And then we've got the width. So this is the width of the testimonials. So we can see how that affects our content. I'm going to leave this on the default. Then we've got some additional options under here. So this is to do with the way the slider works. So we can show or hide arrows. I'm going to leave them on so that users know that they can slide through. We've also got pagination, so dots. We could have fraction, or we could have progress. Progress, this is how progress works. So if I click on the arrows, you can see how that scrolls along. I'm going to leave it on dots. You can have none if you like. Again, bear in mind, whichever one you pick, there might be a couple of other style options later on. We've got the transition duration. So this is how quickly it takes for the transition. We could increase this up to 3000, for example, and it takes a lot longer, but it's quite smooth. Let's put that back down to 500. We've got autoplay, so this means that the slider will automatically scroll through. We've got autoplay speed, so this is how quickly the slides move through. Not the transition duration, but how quickly they move through. We've then got an infinite loop, so this will just continue to go through all your testimonials and all your items. We've also got pause on hover, so if I was to hover my cursor over my testimonials, this would stop the sliding. And we've also got pause on interaction, so if I was to interact, click on it, that would also stop the animation. We've also got image size down here. So my images are actually quite small, as you can see. So I'm going to leave it on full because this means that the image will be at its sort of best quality. You probably could just go with thumbnail because it's so small, but I'm going to leave it on full. So that is it for the content part of the testimonial carousel. I'm just going to stop for a moment so that you can pause the video and add your own testimonial carousel in. Put in as many testimonials as you like, and in a moment we are going to style these. So let's style our testimonial carousel. Let's go up to style in the top left. And we're going to go through the slides, the content, image, navigation and bubble. So the first thing we have is our slides. So we've got the space between the slides. You can see how this is affected on the side here. I'm going to remove that and leave it on the default because I think that space works. We've got the background color. So this is the background color of the area, which I'm going to leave clear because I do want the background color of my web page. I'm going to close that window. Then we've got the border size. So again, this is the border size of each testimonial here. I don't want that. I'm going to remove the border so it's nothing. There's also the border radius. If I just put the border back in, you can see how this works. If I was to add some space between, we can see that that space is also between the two borders. Let's just remove those settings then. Again, we've also got padding, so this is also affecting all the padding around each testimonial, not around the entire area. So let's remove that and leave on the default. Moving on to the content then. The first option is our gap. So that's the gap between the bubble and the titles. I'm going to leave it around there. We've got the text color. I'm going to leave that on white. That is referring to the text here. Close that window. And we've got typography. I'm going to go for Josephine Sands. The size is okay, but I'm going to put weight 300. I'm also going to leave it in this italic style, which is actually set as default anyway. I'm going to close that window now. Then we're going to move on to the name. The text color, I'm still going to leave as white. Typography, I'm going to choose Josephine Sands again. Close that window. Title color, again, we're going to leave white. That stands out better on our blue background. But the typography, I'm going to go with a Matic. And because we can't read that so well, because it's so small, I'm going to change that to 2 with a bold weight. By the way, there are separate videos on how to use the text color picker and the typography tool. They're tools that you're going to use quite a lot, so I recommend you go and check these out. There are also other ways of setting fonts and colors to the entire theme so that you don't have to keep doing this every time, but it's best that we show you how each element works individually and all of its settings. Let's move down to image. We've got the image size. So I am going to make this a little bit larger than its default. Let's leave it on there. Then we've got the gap, which is the space between the image and the titles. Let's leave it around there. We can add a border if we like. I'm going to change the border to white. I quite like the width, so I'm going to leave that for now. We've also got the border radius. So that's smooth corners or a complete circle. I know we normally like sharp corners that you know, but I'm going to leave this on a nice round circle. Then we have the navigation. So this applies to the arrows and the pagination dots here. The size I'm going to make slightly larger so people can see it clearly. I want a pure white color. The pagination, again, a bit larger, so it's clear that this is a slider and there's a couple of pages to look through. The colour, I'm going to go with the green. Then we move on to the bubble. So we've got the background colour. I'm going to change to the orange. Now we can see our text a lot clearer, but it slightly clashes with this blue. The padding, I'm going to leave default. It's quite uniform, but we could remove this if we wanted, and we change the padding however we like. That was on 20, so I'm going to leave it on 20. We've then got the border radius, so that is how smooth the corners are. We can see how that changes our speech bubble, but I am going to leave that on the default sharp corners. Now we've got the border. I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to change the colour to white. Now we don't have that obvious clash between the orange and the blue. I want the border width to be 5. As you can see, this applies to all of our bubbles. So that is it when it comes to the testimonial carousel element of Elementor. When you're happy with yours, don't forget to go down to update, and we will see you in the next video.